Top 10 NASCAR drivers who came out of nowhere. What if I told you that some of NASCAR's greatest legends didn't rise through the expected ranks, but exploded onto the scene from complete obscurity? These 10 drivers defied the odds. They weren't born into racing dynasties. They didn't have millions in sponsorship money backing their every move. Instead, they clawed their way from the shadows to the front of the pack and left their tire marks on history. Each name on this list has a story, and each story begins the same. They weren't supposed to make it. But somehow, against all odds, they did. And once they arrived, NASCAR was never the same. Number 10. Ross Chastain, the watermelon farmer turned hero. He was stacking crates on a Florida farm when NASCAR came calling. Ross Chastain's origin story reads like a sports movie. With no silver spoon and no big-name team, he hustled his way up from underfunded rides to a full-time Cup Series seat. In 2022, Chastain etched his name into legend with the Hail Melon, a wall-riding move at Martinsville that defied physics and stunned the racing world. His rise wasn't just unexpected, it was defiant. While others had pedigree, he had grit. Now, he's a championship contender, proving talent can sprout even in the unlikeliest of soil. Crowds chant his name not just for the wins, but for the journey. Every lap he leads is a reminder of how far he's come. Number 9. Regan Smith, the unexpected, David among Goliaths. In a world of giants, he won a race no one thought he could. Regan Smith came into the spotlight in 2011 when he pulled off a shocking victory at Darlington Raceway, beating seasoned veterans in a car from an underdog team. No one had him on their radar. No one thought the Furniture Row racing car could go to victory lane, but he did it, clean and fearless. The victory stunned the garage and ignited a fresh conversation about talent hiding in smaller teams. Smith's win wasn't just an upset, it was a revolution in perception. He didn't become a multi-race winner, but that single moment immortalized him in NASCAR lore. Number 8. Alex Bowman, the simulator driver turned star. He was racing video games for paychecks before taking the wheel of a Legends car. When Dale Earnhardt Jr. needed a substitute driver, Alex Bowman got the call. Few expected him to fill such massive shoes, but what followed was a breakout performance that changed his life. He didn't just fill in, he impressed, and soon earned a full-time ride in the number 88, later switching to the iconic number 48. Bowman came from humble beginnings, once fixing his own race cars just to make it to the track. Now he's a multiple-time Cup Series winner, proving that digital skills and raw passion can fuel real-world dominance. His journey from simulator screens to NASCAR's brightest lights left even the critics speechless. Number 7. Michael McDowell, the Daytona Miracle. 17 years, 0 wins, until the world watched him shock the planet. Michael McDowell was often overlooked, a journeyman driver hopping from team to team. But in 2021, he pulled off one of the most jaw-dropping wins in NASCAR history, capturing the Daytona 500 after a late race wreck opened a path to glory. 6. Eric Jones, the teen who replaced a champion. At just 18 years old, he was thrown into the fire and came out forged. When Kyle Busch was injured in 2015, few expected a teenager to fill the void. Number 5. Christopher Bell, the dirt star nobody saw coming. He didn't grow up on asphalt, but on red clay where the real racers are forged. Christopher Bell's transition from dirt racing to NASCAR wasn't expected to be smooth, but by 2021, he had already won on Daytona's road course, silencing skeptics who thought his skills wouldn't translate. Number 4. Corey LaJoie, the fan favorite with a fighter's heart. He wasn't given a shot, he earned it with blood, sweat, and sarcasm. Corey LaJoie didn't debut with a powerhouse team. He drove underfunded cars, scrounged for sponsors, and became known more for his social media wit than his on-track results. Number 3. Bubba Wallace, the spotlight outsider who never backed down. Thrust into a spotlight bigger than racing, he fought for more than trophies. Bubba Wallace came from a modest racing background and carved a place in NASCAR history, not just as the first black driver to win a cup race in over 50 years, but as a voice for change in a conservative sport. Number 2. Jamie McMurray, the substitute who shocked the series. He had one weekend to prove himself and turned it into a decade-long career. When Sterling Marlin was sidelined in 2002, Jamie McMurray filled in and stunned everyone by winning in just his second Cup Series start. It was one of the fastest rises the sport had ever seen. McMurray wasn't a household name before that race. But after taking the checkered flag, he became an overnight sensation. Over the next several years, he would go on to win the Daytona 500, the Brickyard 400, and more. All from a single shot, a single miracle weekend. His story is the definition of right place, right time, and ready. Number 1. Trevor Bayne, the kid who conquered Daytona. He wasn't even supposed to contend. Then he won the biggest race of them all. At just 20 years old, Trevor Bayne shocked the world by winning the 2011 Daytona 500 in only his second career Cup start. Driving for the legendary Wood brothers, Bayne's victory was as improbable as it was unforgettable. No one outside his team gave him a chance. Analysts dismissed him as a placeholder. But Bayne drove like a veteran, avoiding chaos and seizing history with icy nerves. The moment remains one of the greatest upsets in NASCAR history. A literal nobody until the checkered flag made him somebody. From farms and simulators to dusty dirt tracks and midnight wrenching sessions, these drivers proved that greatness doesn't need a famous last name, it just needs fire. Every driver on this list came from nowhere, but they arrived with thunder. They fought for respect. They battled through obscurity. And when the moment came, they seized it with white-knuckled fury. These are the stories that remind us why we love racing, not just for the speed, but for the soul. The comeback, the breakout, the underdog defying the odds. So the next time you watch a young driver fight through the pack, remember tomorrow's legend might be today's long shot. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more high-octane stories from NASCAR's wildest corners. The next Cinderella story might already be revving up.